You know what time it is. That's right. We're going to do a little card reading. I've had a hell of a day, and the best way to put it is it feels like an episode of Burn Notice. Did you ever watch Burn Notice? That's what it feels like. So anyway, I made a little story about it, but I had some crazy guy accost me at 7-Eleven today. I was just going to get gas, and my day had a kind of a rough start to begin with my dad and I had an altercation. Not a big one, but like my feelings got hurt, and so I stood up for myself and said, hey, this hurt my feelings. So it's just been a roller coaster today, and I took a while to actually get food in my mouth. So I just ate a grass-fed beef meatloaf. It was like a Mexican style meatloaf that I made for meal preps, pulled it out of the freezer. And then I made some really gorgeous organic russet potato tallow fries. Everything was so good. It gave me chills. It was really, really, really good. Anyway, I'm a little food appreciation, but I'll get to the cards. I know people don't love a lot of waiting, but let's talk about it. So a little astrology, full moon. We'll have a little Uranus and Taurus sprinkle in it. So not only do we have the Taurus-Scorpio opposition, which in and of itself is very intense, it could be romantic, but also like dramatic in its own way, especially with Uranus involved. So see, it's training Saturn, it's training Neptune, loosely, sort of, at least the sun is in its own way. I'm not thinking in exact degrees here, but this is the axis of, spring, the beginning of spring and the beginning of fall, which is spooky season. So we have a little bit of darkness, a little bit of light, a little bit of flowers, a little bit of death. And it's eerie in one way, but also inspiring in another. And it's very sumptuous. It's got food, it's got wealth, it's got luxury, all programmed into these things. It's got sex, it's got money, it's got building something, it's got tearing down, it's transformation, like so many fucking little baby things all involved in the energy of this full moon. So in the interest of that, high emotion, episodes of Burn Notice for everybody in a way. I always feel things a little bit ahead of time. So what advice can we get for the intensity? Let's do the card prayer. Spirit of angels of truth, love, light, and benevolent darkness, please be in this circle with us now. I ask the entities of only the entities that have our highest good in mind to come into this circle. Our ancestors, our familiar spirits, I only yawn when I'm transferring energy. I swear. So I was just saying the ancestors and other entities that would want to be helpful. Even old animals that you've had can come help with us, the reading. Guides, your spirit guides, everybody. As long as they have our highest good in mind and don't want to sow confusion. Any entities that wants to sow confusion and is not in our highest good has to stay out of the circle. Benevolent darkness is good to access because we can learn from our shadows. So let us do that. Let us be shown our shadows in this reading. If we have any to get shown in our face, please remove my ego so that I can deliver the messages as clearly and concisely as possible. I just had a flash on the Empress. Yellow. Luxurious, feminine, cushy, fuzzy, good texture, very soft. Anyway, so we'll see if that actually comes out. So, cards. I want to ask, this is going to be, the intensity is programmed into this moon. What kind of intensity might we be able to expect? I'm going to do 2 cards to start. What can we expect? I'm using my Hope Tarot deck, which is my newest deck. Okay. What can we get? I have 2 cards. See what's going on for this full moon. I don't take reversals in this deck because I don't want to. Messages. Okay, so I would say communication. Keep an eye on having words with people, having high emotion, having quick knee-jerk reactions. Here's why. This is the Knight of Cups. He's on a mission to explore. These knights are usually messengers. He wants to deliver something. He also, like I said in one of my recent readings lately, he kind of gives me Don Quixote vibes, where he's almost never satisfied until he reaches where he wants to go. He's got wanderlust. This knight, excuse me, not king, this Knight of Cups. Very Don Quixote. Very like a rich Spaniard. He doesn't have a sword on him. He just has the cup. That's the only thing he has is his emotion. The symbol for emotions anyway. He's even struggling to see clearly. So there's an emotional message in this. It might come fast, and your reaction might come fast because we have the 8 of Wands here as well. Fiery, fast, passionate. It's giving a flash in the pan. Even if you have words with somebody, it could blow over fast. And it could heal fast as long as you let it. So don't get cutting with your words. Choose wisely. Choose wisely with your reactions. It's really important to remind yourself that just because it feels big and important right in this second, it's not a good time to lash out. Don't be cruel. I would say be precise even, because these are known as arrows. So I would say try to hit your mark. If you're going to have to say something, don't get lost in the weeds. Don't do red herrings. Don't get lost on just hold fast to your point. Don't get nasty. Don't say things you're going to regret. Also, if you get an invitation, based on these 2 cards alone, if you get an invitation to travel out of the blue, you might want to consider it. It might be good for you. Let's keep going. So that's what kind of drama we might be facing. So restlessness, spicy communication back and forth between people, the potential to hurt feelings or have your feelings hurt. Having so many raging things to say at once, or having a really long, it could be even a really long, loving conversation with somebody that you're reconnecting with after a while with these cards. But it just feels like an element of far away. And you might be not in physical proximity. I don't know why I'm yawning. I don't know whose energy I'm connecting with, but it's usually a Cancerian energy if I'm yawning like this, and there is cups. So, you guys might need to pay more attention to your feelings than most. What else can we know about this full moon? Let's do an advice, do, don't. Classic. when we have these spicy communications, when we have this inundation of information to process, passion swelling up, what's the best way we can direct these arrows? What's the best way we can navigate the energy of this moon? I always hope somebody's going to come to these lives, but it doesn't seem like either the word gets out or what, but I would love to have somebody in chat right now. Anyway, it's always more fun when I can channel directly through a question somebody's asking. So that's why I love it. But, so let's do, again, what's our advice, do, don't for this full moon? These are cool. I just think this deck is so pretty. 4 of Wands. Alright, so this is like, it's giving, you know, a girls' beach party. Like, just all the gals are here. All the gals are feeling secure. They got the tiki lights. They're having a good time. They're all athletic and smiling and, you know, ideal. Like, they look like perfect little cigarette girls from back in the day. Like, so, something to celebrate. The advice is to stay in a zone of optimism. Have the right people around you. Make sure you're using your passions to create better relationships. Stable relationships gravitate towards the ones that feel the most stable right now. And leave behind, card. Leave behind connections that are coming from a rough place. 6 of Swords. Spooky. Got that full moon in the background. Perfect. Couldn't be more perfect. So, again, I would say this is a stress, a repeat. Be on the same page with people. So, the best way to do that is to make sure you're only hanging out with the people that you're on the same page with. So, guard your energy. Make sure you're not hanging out with folks that pull your energy down. Only hang out with folks, go towards the direction of peace and solitude, serenity. I love that word, serenity, for this card. That's the do. The don't. Isn't this beautiful? That looks like a TWA ad from back in the day, if you remember how that was a brand. And, you know, the TWA had this ad campaign. I used to have a bunch of old magazines, and TWA would have ads in the magazines that look like this. World travel. So this is the world card. The don't. What this is saying to me is don't close yourself off as if you know everything there is to know. It would be good to stay optimistic. Keep your mind open. Don't close your mind. You don't know everything there is to know. You haven't seen it all. You haven't heard it all. So it's you're not quite finished yet. That the world card is the last major arcana card. And it, you know, they have like the original Rider-Waite right there, which is kind of cool in the design. But I'm also seeing, you know, math, planes, right? We have the grid and X and Y. So this is giving me math in my mind. So I would say don't be calculating either. Don't be keeping tabs. If there's people that are on the same page as you, just don't keep tabs. Just keep moving. Keep it moving. Don't be sitting here closing doors and then staring at the door that's closed. You have to remember the confinement that you see yourself in because you can't be with certain people. That stuckness, like, oh, you know, maybe you don't want to hang out with them. Maybe you miss them. Maybe you miss the fuck out of them. And you don't really know why you're even separated right now. But it is what it is, and you know that they're doing the best thing they could for themselves right now. And that's really what we need to be doing for ourselves as well, is to be making sure that we're following our own path in the most highest light and not closing our minds off. Which is funny to say because Scorpio can be extremely judgmental energy. So we'll see how it goes for this full moon. And yeah, you know, we can't expect everything is going to be laid out on the table because these cards are good, but it's like there's always going to be an element of surprise. So keep that in mind. So things are going to happen quickly, but you have to be on the right side of optimism, gearing your choices towards the right direction and being on the same page with people without closing off your perceptions. So, this is the card reading. Advice: do don't. Move towards serenity. Have good people around you. Don't close your mind off. This is the type of drama we might have. Again, Knight of Cups. 8 of Wands. So, I'm going to keep this short because the shorter views do better. The shorter they are, the more views. But yeah, it's disruptive, but not necessarily that bad as long as you have a strong internal sense of what you need to put your thoughts on, where you need to put your focus, the types of things you need to celebrate. Don't be closing your mind off. Okay. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for watching. Give it a like. Give it a share. Save it. Interact with it so that I can keep growing my channel. I'm trying to grow my channels on all fronts. I'm not a hobbyist. I do this for a living. Part of my living. Not fully my living, but part of it. So it's my life's work, the love of my life, to be able to be here with you guys and deliver wisdom, or step out of the way and deliver the wisdom more often than not. It's not has anything to do with me. It's that I sit and pray to be sitting here delivering a message for you guys in the right way possible. Today it came through the cards. A lot of times it just comes out intuitively. If you want to work with me, I have an intuitive space prepared for you guys. It's called liminal space readings. It's kind of maybe not a reading, but it's a session where we get in the space of intuition and I'm actively listening to what it is you need from a positive ear or anything that's coming out of your spirit that needs attention, right? So we sit there and I hear you out spiritually. I can give you a guidance in that moment if that's what you need. Or it might be something that you just need to talk out and you need a safe place to vent with somebody that's a minister. Check out my service menu. I will be having a website very soon so that my options will be much more available and clear. So, yes. Is there anything else I need to say? It's saying show you guys the bottom of the deck, okay? All right, what do we got? That's so cute. The Page of Swords. In terms of what you do with your thoughts, stay light on your feet. Stay teachable. Stay teachable. Don't act like you know everything. Don't close your mind off. So that's reiterating. Stay teachable. Stay light on your feet. Stay flexible. Move in. If something that's negative is coming around, it's being stupid, cutting you, whatever, move in the right direction on your own. You don't need permission to duck and dive out of the way. So just don't close your mind. That's it. Move forward. Enjoy yourself. There's more optimism in this than not. I don't hate these cards. So Anyway, I love you guys. I'd love to do a reading with you, but if not, I'll see you again later. I'm always here. I love you.